Welcome in to the Tuesday, Leo, August 3rd, Fun Astrology Podcast. Glad you're here. Thomas Miller, thanks for stopping by. We have a really interesting synthesis on two planets that are both aspecting Uranus today. Now, when we think of the planet Uranus, we think of off the wall. I just have always had this mental image of this great big jack-in-the-box. You know, like if you were in a dream or if you remember when you were a little kid and you went to the fair and there were all the little arcades and things that you could go to and things would pop out at you. Well, this great big jack-in-the-box just comes exploding out of his little home, boing, and bounces up and down about 5 or 6 times and has this goofy look on his face and waves back and forth and swings back and forth, you know, and then surprise, and then he goes back in his little house and leaves you with the mess. Well, that's kind of Uranus. Whenever you get those life surprise, you know that Uranus is not far around the corner. Now, there are a number of other things that Uranus also archetypes, but this is why it was such a great fit for Aquarius back when it was discovered in 1781. It can rule technology, it can rule autonomy, independence, large groups, many of the things that you would also attribute to Aquarius and to the 11th house. But today's spotlight on Uranus is amplified by two planets that are aspecting it. The first is Venus, is in the positive trine aspect with Uranus. So all of you who have been having relationship issues, what you can synthesize from this is, remember the big jack-in-the-box, there could be a surprise. It could leave you laughing or it could leave you crying. And, of course, that's with all the areas covered by Venus, love, relationships, our sociability. I think we could even take it in one step further to the things that are going on in the world today that could affect the collective even with this. There's kind of a double influence with that. And this energy of this trine, although it will be separating or waning from here, from today, will be with us for the rest of the week. The exact trine has already happened. It took place at 2:53 this morning, 2:53 a.m. Eastern Time. But yes, the influence, again, although diminishing, will be around through Sunday. You know, in these days and times, that many days is a long time for something to happen. Now, the other area that this could influence is money, because Venus rules money. So if you're feeling lucky, that big jack-in-the-box might actually spit out coins. Or if you are feeling a little tense, that jack-in-the-box might just swoop down with his little hand and grab your wallet. So relationships, love, beauty, anything related to beauty, anything related to the arts, anything related to society, to being social, and related to money kind of come under that umbrella. Now, the other aspect that I mentioned is Mercury, and that's a square. So the Venus trine is favorable. The Mercury square is a little bit scratchy, sandpapery. Whenever these aspects in the chart show up, I really, in my own life, I try to remember, and it is hard to do, but I try to remember to count to 5 all day long. Well, no, all week long, at least through Friday, because Mercury moves faster than Venus. But you have to think that something scratchy could come from something you say. And remember, Mercury also rules our thoughts. It rules our intellect. It rules our thinking. And what precedes what comes out of our mouth? Exactly. So the whole package is stop, count to 5, don't automatically just respond to that email. And if you're in person or on the phone, the best response you could have in conversation is silence. I did a subconscious mind mastery podcast on that. Oh, it's one of the few, it's one of the last 10 for sure, probably one of the last 5 or 6, about a conversation that I was having with a guy while I was driving over to Asheville, and he just kept interrupting me. And I just finally said, you know, look, this has been in our space for a long time, so let's just pull it out and address it. And what we opened up a beautiful, beautiful thing that's documented in that podcast about allowing the space of pause in our conversation to breathe, to connect with our intuition, rather than just rattling off that mercurial blah, 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 blah response. And typically we step on somebody else while they're still talking. Think of the Jack in the Box. Bing! It's like you're going to say something wrong. It reaches down and it grabs your little tongue and it twists it. And it's saying, shh, pause. I was working on Mercury just the other day for the 101 course, and one of the things that's in there is, remember that often what you say to yourself is your most important communication. So with Mercury, the trickster, in an aspect with Uranus, the jack-in-the-box trickster, you can see why the best way to keep this in mind for today is this. To say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.